Here's a PPT for the fundamental duties, explaining that what is fundamental duties and when it has been imposed. So introduction is like these fundamental duties of Indian citizens are entraced in Part 4A of the Indian Constitution. So we can see like we have so many parts in Constitution of India, but the fundamental duties has been enshrined in Part 4, Capital A of the Indian Constitution, which was added by the 42nd Amendment in 1976. Specifically, Article 51, Capital A of the Constitution outlines the 11 fundamental duties. So, here we can see that we have 11 fundamental duties for every citizens of India is expected to fulfill. Okay, the fundamental duties are closely related to the uh, the fundamental duties are closely related to directive principles of state policy, which are enshrined in Part 4 of the Constitution. So, in Part 4, there is directive principles of state policies has been enshrined. So, that are the policies. By using that policies, government has to make certain laws for the people and for the citizens of the India or people for the India. But we have some fundamental rights also in Constitution. So if there is rights, then there are some duties also. So same like whatever the directive principles of state policy has been given in Part 4, same it is also meanwhile a duty of the citizens that he need to fulfill. So we'll look into this. So, while the fundamental duties are not directly related to any specific articles of the Constitution, they are an important part of the overall framework of Constitution. Okay, which seeks to establish a democratic, secular, and socialist republic in India. So, here's the first one: to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. This duty requires every citizen to respect and follow the Constitution of India, which is the supreme law of the land. It is also requires citizens to show respect for the national symbol of India, such as the national flag and the national anthem, to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. This duty requires citizens to uphold the values and principles that inspired the Indian freedom struggle, such as democracy, equality, justice, and secularism, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India. This duty requires citizens to be loyal to the country and to work towards maintaining its unity and integrity. It also requires citizens to protect the country from external threats and internal disturbance, to defend the country and render national services when called upon to do so. This duty requires citizens to be ready to defend the country and to serve it when called upon to do so. This can include serving in the armed forces or in other capacities such as disaster relief or community services. To promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistics, and regional or sectional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. This duty requires citizens to promote unity and brotherhood among all people of India, regardless of their religion, language, or reason. It also requires citizens to respect the dignity of women and to renounce practices that are derogatory to them, to value and perceive the rich heritage of a composite culture. This duty requires citizens to value and preserve the rich culture heritage of India. So, like, we have so many heritages in India. For example, Taj Mahal, Lal Killa, India Gate. These are some of the heritage, but not the least. We have multiple heritages in India, so we need to protect that. Okay, which is a composite of various religions, languages, and traditions. It also requires citizens to respect the diversity of Indian culture. to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. This duty requires citizens to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife. It also requires the citizens to have compassion for all living creatures, to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. The duty requires citizens to develop a scientific temper, which means being rational and objective in their thinking. It also requires citizens to have a humanistic outlook and to be open to inquiry and reform, to safeguard public property and abjure violence. This duty requires citizens to safeguard public property and to refrain from using violence to achieve their goals. It also requires citizens to respect the law and to uphold the principles of democracy, to strive toward excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activities so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endure and achievement. This duty requires citizens to strive towards excellence in all spheres of the individual and collective activities. It also requires citizens to work towards the progress and development of the nation, to provide opportunities for education to his child, or as the case may be, ward between the age of 6 and 14 years. This duty requires parents or guardians to provide opportunities for education to their children or wards between the ages of 6 and 14 years. It also requires citizens to promote education in general as it is essential for the progress and development of the nation. I hope this provides a more detailed understanding of the fundamental duties of India's citizens. So, here we had seen like the 11 fundamental duties. Not so far, we have fundamental rights as well. So when there is a right, their duties also arises. So if we got some rights, so which we can claim from the government or from the state of the country, so also we have some duties that also we need to fulfill. We had looked all the 11 duties, and hope everyone got cleared about duties. So thank you for giving a valuable time for watching the video.